Hi, boys. Very welcome to term two. This term in year eight, we're going to be looking at diversity and difference. And the statement of inquiry that we're going to be exploring is composers craft personal narratives in order to express individual perspectives of intercultural experiences. Okay, so they create their personal, so their story in order to, so there's purpose there, right? In order to express individual perspectives of intercultural experiences. Okay? Now, if you look at growing up Asian and Australia, the unit in which we're focusing on, we're looking at diversity and difference in modern day Australia. So, through a close study of this nonfiction anthology, so nonfiction implies that they are true stories. And a variety of other texts, you will compare how experiences of individuals navigating between cultures and communities in Australia have been represented in different text types. For example, personal accounts, essays, short stories, and poetry. Now, if you look at Growing Up Asian in Australia by Alice Pung, the back of the book, the blurb says that Asian Australians have often been written about by outsiders as outsiders. In this collection, they tell their own stories with verve, courage, and a large dose of humor. Okay, so there are some well known authors and exciting new voices spanning several generations and drawn from all over Australia. Within this text, they tell tales of leaving home, falling in love, coming out, and finding one's feet. Sharing their stories, they show us what it's really like to grow up Asian and Australian. So, what we're going to be looking at, gents, for this opening lesson is we're going to be looking at the factual. Okay, I want you guys to start thinking about what is your family history? Where did your parents come from? What impact has this had on your identity? Okay, so, and then again, what is your identity? Do you know what your identity is? Okay, what makes you unique? How are you similar and or different to others? And how is your world different to the world that your parents grew up? So what conflicts has this created? So with these factual questions, okay, I want you to sort of focus on these three factual questions today in this lesson. Okay, I want you to start thinking about what is your family history, where your parents come from, what impact has this had on your identity, and what is your identity? And then I want you to talk to your mom or dad or your carer at home, and I want you to sort of compare how is the world different to the world, how is your world different to the world that your parents or your carer grew up in. Okay, and think about what conflicts has this created. Why do you think that the world that they grew up in is different to the world that you were growing up in? And how does that make your parents or your carer feel? How does it make you feel? Would you have liked to have grown up in their time? So think about those questions. I want you to try and compose responses to these questions during this lesson and in advance of our next lesson. And we'll have a chat about it in our next lesson tomorrow. Okay. Gents, welcome back. Focus on these questions for today, and I will touch base with you tomorrow.